You are listening to the Yummy Mummy Podcast, episode number 147.
Welcome to the Yummy Mummy Podcast, where you will learn brand new and shockingly different tools to lose weight for the last time. And now, here's your host, certified life and weight loss coach, Laura Conley.
Hey, Yum Mums, what's going on? How are you? Okay, so a little client comment coming in from Adele. She says, doing the YMX is in the top 3 best things I've ever done for myself. Right up there with grad school and deciding I was ready for a husband. Love you. Oh, so freaking awesome. This was so funny because this testimonial was unsolicited and it was a part of an email that she had sent me asking for a rec for her husband who saw the impact of life coaching and weight loss coaching and wanted a life coach himself. I mean, the ripple effect is real, people. Okay, fun little factoid about like my life and myself is we're back to school. Are you guys back to school? We are back to school and it is nice. I love it. My kids are it's been a pretty good transition. But I want to offer something about the transition. I noticed myself doing this. I notice I like want to be like perfectly back in the routine and like everyone's bedtime is so dialed and I'm like rushing and like crazy. And I'm like, oh wait, let's just give ourselves like 4 weeks to get into the routine or like 6 weeks to get into the routine. Like, let's just take our time here, Laura. Let's just enjoy getting back into the routine. So give yourself a beat if you are being a little aggressive with the routine like I am. I do. I love a routine. I thrive on it. Okay, so this podcast episode, you yum mums, is about no sugar, no flour. We haven't talked about it in a while. And this is something that comes up especially at the beginning of the YMX. You guys, I'm realizing that all my clients call it the YMX. I call it that sometimes too, right? Because they don't want to say the Yummy Mummy because the Yummy Mummy is just so ridiculous. Oh, it's great. Hey, you don't want to say it, you don't have to say it. I'm glad that we have a little acronym action happening for us. Okay. So let's dive into this concept of no sugar, no flour. First of all, let's be clear. I'm not prescribing anything to my clients. I'm not making them do anything. The YMX is not a diet. It's not a diet. And it's not like another thing packaged as something else, but is really just secretly a diet. First and foremost, I don't prescribe anything. So you can come into the YMX and you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. I mean, yes, you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want right now as well. But what I like to teach is, hey, here's some ideas of things that you can do that will help you lose weight and for the last time and fairly effortlessly, people, fairly effortlessly. I'm just thinking of my clients. I should have pulled a quote for the client comment around just how surprised my clients are when they actually implement their plan or their protocol and they have no sugar, no flour. Like they all are so surprised. They're like, this is the easiest quote unquote diet, but it's not a diet, right? But they will say that too. This is the easiest thing that I've ever done to lose weight. And the crazy part is and it's the last time. It's like double bonus, woohoo, it works, and it's for ads. So when you come on in, you get a platter, like things that could help you lose weight for the last time. Again, why don't I give you a prescription? Why don't I just say, hey, come on in and this is what you're going to eat and this is what you're not going to eat and this is when and this is how and you have to sit here and you have to say this. No, I don't prescribe anything to you because if I were to prescribe something to you, I mean, you have the data already. Am I right or am I right? But if I prescribe something to you, you will rebel because it's human nature. When you don't have buy-in as to why you're doing what you're doing, you will inevitably rebel. This is one reason why diets don't work, is because you don't have buy-in. You don't have say. It's literally a prescription. It is a one size fits all, and it doesn't fit. Doesn't. So if you were to come into the Yummy Mummy experience right now or be like a fly on the wall inside our Slack, or you would see their homework, you would see that my clients all have very different protocols. They're varied. Now, one of my recommendations, again, hear me loudly and clearly. I do give recommendations. I help you create the best plan for you so that it's custom to you. One of my recommendations is no sugar, no flour, no processed sugar, and no flour, no processed flour, but that's just really flour because it's processed. So why do I recommend that? And I want to be really clear. When I say I recommend no sugar, no flour, I recommend that most of the time. So like no sugar, no flour most of the time, or limited processed sugar and flour, however you want to say it. And again, all my clients define it for themselves in a way that's supportive to them, that serves them, that works for them. Okay? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So the reason why I'm obsessed, like I personally love no sugar, no flour, is because of the effects and the benefits that it has on your hunger hormones. Okay. So what are your hunger hormones? Your hunger hormones are insulin, leptin, and ghrelin. And the way that we lose weight inside the Yummy Mummy experience is by balancing our hunger hormones. It's not calories in, calories out. We already tried that. It's another reason why diets don't work, right? Because it's basically a version of calories in, calories out, just wrapped up in different packaging. So if we can balance our hunger hormones, it makes it so much easier to lose weight. So what happens when your hunger hormones come into balance? Guess what? You stop getting hormonally hungry. You stop getting a huge spike from eating processed sugar and flour, a big spike in your blood sugar and therefore your insulin. And you guys, you know what insulin is? Insulin is a fat storage hormone. So when you eat foods like processed sugar and flour, most likely you're going to get a decent spike in your blood sugar and again, therefore your insulin. And insulin's going to say to your body, oh, store fat, and at the same time, it's going to release or it's going to inhibit the release of any fat that is currently on your body. So we do not want high levels of insulin running around in our bodies, cueing shit to our bodies we don't want to be cued. And then we also don't want the crash. If it spikes, what's going to happen? It's going to crash. And that shows up like hormonal hunger, like hanger. Have you ever been hangry? I think I've told you guys on the podcast. My husband and I used to have a lot of fights or a lot of tiffs or a lot of kind of because of my hanger. So you will spike and then you will crash and you're not truly physically hungry. Have you guys ever eaten breakfast and it was like a pancake or pancakes or oatmeal or something that probably had processed sugar or flour in it, and then you get a big crash like 2 hours later, you're like, how am I so hungry? Like I literally just ate. Or like, what about you go out for dinner, maybe like 8 p.m., you eat a big bowl of pasta, you're full when you go to bed, which side note, that doesn't feel good. You're really full when you go to bed and then you wake up and you're hungry. You're like, well, how am I hungry? I just ate like a huge bowl of pasta. That is because you got a huge spike and therefore a crash. And I don't want you, and I don't think you want to, be eating when you are hungry for hormonal reasons. If you're not truly physically hungry, we don't want to be eating because it makes us weigh what we don't want to weigh. Okay? Are you guys understanding here? Now, a lot of you guys are probably like a little resistant, like, oh, I can't do that. There's like no way I could do that. Like, there's no way I could give up sugar and flour. And again, I'm not asking you to do it always forever. I'm asking you to do it in a way like most of my clients will have like a joy eat or yummy mummy munchie once a week. And that really works for them so that they do have something that has sugar and flour. Like if they really love pasta, they get to have it. Caveat, or not caveat, but like side note is like added benefit is when you take sugar and flour out of your diet most of the time, you won't crave it as much. You won't want it. You're going to actually lower your desire for that food. That's where it gets so easy. So I just want you to be willing to experiment with no sugar, no flour. And of course, I want you to experiment with no sugar, no flour inside the Yummy Mummy because when it gets challenging, if it gets challenging, you have the support, you have the accountability, right? I have clients be like, I tried no sugar, no flour, and it didn't work until I did it inside the Yummy Mummy because of all the other tools that are offered. Okay. So I love that it worked. Like I tell this story all the time too, right? Like when I was losing weight for the last time, I was doing mostly no sugar, no flour. And I would like get on the scale and be scared to get on the scale because I was like, there's no way that I could lose weight because I didn't starve myself yesterday. No, I just ate in a way that was supportive to my hunger hormones and therefore lost weight. I would eat like a normal amount of nutrient-dense foods, nutritious foods, wake up the next day, lose weight. Wake up the next day, lose weight. It was like kind of like magic for me because the only way I had ever lost weight before was by starving myself. So the fact that I could go like to bed sated or satiated, or I could live my day feeling like satisfied and then actually lose weight was like mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing to me. So freaking cool that this is like even a thing in the world. There's so many other benefits too, you guys, to not having sugar and not having flour, right? And you will define what that means. Like some of my clients have almond flour, but they don't have wheat flour. And some of my clients still have honey and maple syrup sparingly. Some of my clients still keep, a lot of them actually do, will still keep like stevia. Like there's still room for you to enjoy sweet things, just things that are made with like real food. People will be like, I can't just remove a whole food group or like two whole food groups. I'm like, yeah, so like these aren't food groups. These are like white powdery substances that we as humans made to get other humans addicted to them so that we can make a lot of money. Right? Like there's literal labs designed so that the pleasure centers in our brain light up bigger and brighter from that food. They go into those labs and they hack that food so that we get as maximum amount of pleasure from that food. So we are guaranteed to come back to that food. So it just makes it so much easier to lose weight when you're not addicted. We all are. Like even me, like I thought, oh, I eat healthy already. Like I was a little addicted to sugar and flour. Even if you think you're not eating a lot, it's sneaky. It can be in there. Now, I also want to say that doesn't mean that there aren't a bazillion freaking foods that you can eat. Like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. My clients are like, God, there's so much I can have. Like, I don't want you to think about this as lack. This is abundance. There's so much you can have. So many foods, so many delicious, whole, nutritious foods that really taste good and are enjoyable in the moment and are enjoyable afterwards, like 5 minutes after, 5 hours after, 5 days after, right? Because you don't feel physically sick and then you lose weight and then you guys all want to lose weight for certain reasons, right? So then you get to live out those reasons because you've eliminated sugar and flour for the most part. Again, I just feel like it makes it so much easier because you're just so much less hungry. It's so much easier to become fat adapted when you remove sugar and flour. I mean, it's basically impossible to be fat adapted when you are eating sugar and flour. Okay. Now, what does fat adapted mean? It just means that your body can use the fat on your body for fuel, which is literally why the fat on your body is there, for fuel. Right? That's like the point of it. It's actually so cool. I actually love to like thank my body for having fat on it because I could go for a week, right? Like this is how we are designed. This is how we evolved. Food did not used to be readily available. So way back in like the cave woman days, we were all fat adapted because we could go 36 hours without food, right? So we weren't experiencing those big spikes and those big crashes. And it's really so nice because if you are in a meeting and you experience true physical hunger, it's just like a gentle rolling. It's not this emergency. Hormonal hunger shows up, and when you're not fat adapted, it shows up as an emergency. And you have to like pull over, go to the gas station, go downstairs, like can't do anything, right? So I just love it because it makes it so much easier. Now, maybe you've been addicted to another substance in life. And I'm not calling you addicted. You might not be addicted to sugar and flour. You totally might not be. I was surprised to find out that I was to a degree. But think about maybe somebody you know who used to smoke cigarettes, or maybe you used to smoke cigarettes. Like, do you want a cigarette right now? Do you? No, you don't. Because you've lowered your desire because you're not addicted to it. So you're not going to want it anymore. I promise you. This was like the other day, my daughter had Sour Patch Kids at the movies. Oh, the Barbie movie, you guys. Don't get me started on the Barbie movie. Oh my God. Oh, it's so good. So she had Sour Patch Kids. I like didn't even notice until I looked at the picture like days later. I didn't even notice that I didn't want them. I just don't want them. They just don't trigger me. I'm not like attached. I'm not like compulsive around them. They're just literally there like her bottle of water was, honestly. So crazy. So awesome. So when you get rid of sugar and flour, it's just so much easier. So that's why I highly recommend it. Now, can you lose weight for the last time? Still eating sugar and flour every day? Yes, 100%. You can even do that inside the Yummy Mummy experience. I just think it's a lot harder because of the reason I talked about, right? Number one, you're going to be insulin resistant, most likely, which means that your insulin is going to be elevated, which means that you're not going to be able to live in that fat burning mode, right? And so that means that your body is constantly cueing you to store more fat than you need. And again, it's blocking you from being able to release the fat that's on your body. And then you're getting the crash, just to kind of summarize, right? You're getting that crash where then you're hormonally hungry and then you have to eat again, but you're not actually physically hungry. So we just take all of that out of the way by removing sugar and flour. And it's just magic. Like, I actually can't believe that more people aren't talking about this. It feels like a best kept secret. So, and this is kind of high level. Inside the Yummy Mummy experience, we go into depth. We ask all the questions of like, do you want maple syrup? Do you want to have a joy eat? Like, and then how to work through all of that and plan your days based on that. And then we handle all the obstacles and strategies through coaching, through our Slack community, through accountability. Anything that could come up that could get in the way of you being able to follow through on your plan, we handle. So we're going to want to mark your calendars, you guys, because the next Yummy Mummy experience, the next YMX, is happening on October 24th. Okay, so stay tuned for more deets on that. It's going to be, it's just going to be freaking amazing. It really is. Blows my mind how good it is. It sounds obnoxious for me to say it out loud, but it's just true. It's just true, people. So I would love it from the bottom of my heart if you have gotten anything out of this podcast, will you please, pretty please with a cherry on top, rate and review. A review is really what I'm asking for. If you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or wherever you can leave a review. If you can't, just leave a rating. And then share it with a friend. Send it to a friend. You guys are on a mission to free 1 million moms. Will you help me? Will you help me? How can we do this? Let's do it. We can do it. I mean, we are doing it. It's just going to be, oh my God, like it's going to be a whole new Barbie land. Oh, I just love it. We are going to be so free in so many areas, not just in terms of our physical weight, right? We lose so much mental, emotional, energetic weight when we do this work. So I love you so much. I hope you have the absolute best week ever. And I will see you in the Yummy Mummy experience in October. Hey, if you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, I would love it if you leave a rate, review, and a subscribe on whatever you're listening to this podcast in. Pretty please with a cherry on top. It would help me so much, and it would help all the other mamas out there hear this message. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate it. And you have to come check out the Yummy Mummy experience. It's my proven lose weight for the last time group coaching and course. Head to lauraconley.com and just click work with me. Other than that, you guys, I would love to give you a free gift. If you want your free listener only gift, go to lauraconley.com/gift. And from there, you will get your free best ever weight loss hack. So cool. The last thing I want to tell you, you guys, is I do have a free Facebook group. It's called, you guessed it, the Yummy Mummy. Lose weight for the last time, end body drama, and get food freedom. You can just search that in Facebook, or again, you can head to the show notes and you'll find the link there. All right, you guys, have the best day ever.